and true living legend from the bottom.
My man.
Welcome to another episode of the Back of the Class podcast.
No sound effects this week?
welcome.
No.
That was my intro.
Welcome to Esteban's poetry reading.
I wanted
That's
to do,
right.
I wanted to do panda.
Oh, yo, you've been doing that all week.
I can't front. I'm hooked.
For people who would want a little tidbit here, Juan and Esteban sit next to each other. And they
Yes,
sit very
at
far
work.
away from me.
And then we
So
go
I'm-
home and we game at night.
Yeah.
So I hear Panda in my brain all night long,
This is true. And among other things,
amongst other things.
because last week I was singing that Gaston song from Beauty and the Beast.
Yo, he broke out in Gaston, yo.
Yo, that's
Like
my
while we're
shit.
playing, like some
Yeah.
straight up.
We're fighting
It's so
aliens.
nice to see you, Gaston. I'm like, yo, would you shut?
Yo, that's my shit.
No, it's not.
Yo,
Come
but
on.
the whole, our whole crew turned on. It was like,
I
yo,
would
you
sing it
really
right now,
gotta-
but I don't want to get sued by Disney.
Yeah, don't. They wouldn't even
I'll
sue you
sue
for
you.
copyright.
I'll
They'll
sue
sue
you
you
if
for
you sing it.
butchering their song. Goodness gracious. Anyway, we got a great show, as we always do. It's 420 today while we record this podcast.
Word.
So we have some 420 fun things to discuss. Cameron has a Purple Haze shoe collab, a great show tonight at BB King's in New York City, but it's also celebrating his Purple Haze album, one of his biggest albums. We got some other music stuff to talk about. Some dope movie news is upon us. You know, some great TV shows are premiering now, and Zach has a dope interview
Yes.
that he did with Kumbaya Bell. What's his name?
W.
Kumbaya
Kamau Bell.
W. Kamau Bell.
Yes, I can't wait for you guys to hear that.
Word. Yeah, so look, let's just jump right into it. No time for delaying.
Word.
So 420, man, is upon us.
Yeah. For all the pot smokers in the room.
For all the weed smokers in the room. History was made. Waka Flocka Flame went to the hospital as the first person to ever OD on marijuana.
See, like I said, if that's legit, he laced it with something.
I mean, but how fitting is it that would happen on 420? It almost is too good to be true.
And how does he OD, quote unquote, and Snoop Dogg never has? Like, who the fuck smokes more than Snoop? You know what I'm saying? Like, out of
What I
all the
saw was
people-
edibles, which could make a difference because you eat those and then
Mm.
you feel like nothing's going on, but
And
an
then
hour later,
you're
2
in
later,
pain.
you know.
Depending on how much you ate, you're in pain.
Yeah, it can be bad.
I've
'Cause, like,
witnessed.
I also don't know if it's true though.
Yeah.
But
It's all this,
That's
this
what I'm
coming from the
saying.
guy who was gonna run for president like a couple years ago. Like,
oh,
Right.
jeez.
So
OD and all.
it makes for a good story though.
My favorite marijuana OD is that like 911 call that
Oh,
somebody
yes.
made while they felt like they were dying. If
And
you
they
never
called
heard,
the cops, right?
yeah, if you never heard that, you gotta look it up.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
Doesn't he talk about like a sword or something?
Dude, I don't know.
Like, what doesn't he talk about? It's glorious.
Yeah, it's very good.
Vanglorious.
So 420. I feel like rappers talk about weed sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Just a little
Maybe-
bit.
maybe once or twice
a
on a
small
record.
segment of rap artists
Just a little bit.
have been known to.
I think weed is probably responsible for more rap lyrics / rap music period than any other, influence
Right.
More than water.
more than water.
More than water.
Maybe-
Unless you're I Love McConan and then
Oh God.
you put 8 mixtapes out about the daggone water.
Close second, and we've been in this industry a while, and how many times have you seen rappers we've talked to that can't function unless
Right.
they high?
Right.
Like, it's happened where I've interviewed the same person twice, once without
Yeah.
smoking and then after smoking, and two completely different people.
Completely different.
Which is
human
fine.
beings, man.
I wrote up this morning. Lil Wayne got the key to the city of Lafayette, Louisiana, the first and only key to the city, and he was presented with it by the mayor, this very official white dude. And the camera's far enough out that I couldn't tell if Lil Wayne was like real blitzed or not.
Wow.
But it's the
He
minute
always
before
is.
he goes on stage. So he gives him the key, and Wayne walks out on stage. So I have to assume he was high as fuck,
Oh my
receiving this key to
God,
the city and taking a quick pic.
Have you guys been seeing this Lil Wayne like HTC phone commercials, like
Mhm.
him just pouring champagne on his phone?
Yeah.
So
No.
there was one
So stupid.
but now there's like 5 different.
He's got 2 ad
versions.
campaigns out.
Yeah.
'Cause he had that Super Bowl.
Oh no,
stuff.
yeah, it's not the HTC, it's a Galaxy.
The Galaxy, you're right.
But
It's
he's
a
got
Galaxy
those
phone.
George Washington commercials. too.
Creeps me out
Yeah.
to see Lil Wayne just walking around random places pouring.
But it's like
champagne
the
on his
most.
phone.
But it's like it. There has to be inspired by like those stupid infomercials like. Are you tired of using a belt? And then it's like people exaggerating not being able to use a belt, like that
I
kind of
can't
dumb
use my
shit.
belt.
Yeah, like making up these scenarios that like you
Right.
practically have to be unconscious and making a sandwich to not know how to use a butter knife. But like they're selling these stupid gizmos and shit.
Right.
I feel like that kind of stuff, those infomercials inspired this Lil Wayne thing because it's like, oh, I'm at the bus stop and I just spill champagne all over my phone. Like what the
Yo.
like what?
So he walks
gotta look
into
that
like a
up.
convenience store, and it's clearly a convenience store because there's no one else in it but him and the guy behind the counter. It's not it's not like a supermarket or anything. It's not even a liquor store, I don't think. It's a convenience store. And he's walking in, pouring champagne on his phone already. And he looks at the guy, the clerk behind the desk, and he goes, "Do you guys have high-end champagne?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's to the back." And so he continues to walk and pour champagne on his phone. He gets to the counter, puts the new champagne down because he's emptied the other bottle.
Yeah.
He pays for it, pops the cork, and says thanks, and then pours champagne on his phone as he walks out of the store. I'm like, yo, this is becoming a bit.
This is just wasteful.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's so high end champagne. You couldn't pour some Andre on it.
And that's gonna be a sticky ass phone after he's done
Right,
with
you're
that
going to put it
bottle.
all in your ear, man. That's gross.
I didn't know he had 2 campaigns going at once, but
Yeah.
yeah, Lil Wayne definitely he's probably my favorite, weed rapper. He's one of the few that it's not his whole shtick, but it's such a big part of him,
Right.
and that he gives me a ton of laughs.
Now, how do we
too.
feel about weed shtick rappers?
I mean, the face of weed shtick rappers is Wiz Khalifa, is he not? I mean,
Agreed.
Or
There's-
Snoop.
I mean,
they're
Snoop,
the
yeah,
same
but
person.
yeah, basically, it's just like it's a before and after, basically, of
Exactly.
age.
I'm never that interested in it. Not like
Agreed.
I'm not that interested in Wiz Khalifa. Obviously, Snoop is great, but as a shtick, it's like if your thing was alcohol, or cigarettes. It's like
Right.
it's not that notable of a thing. There's a lot of artists that smoke weed every day.
Every day.
Um,
Yeah, man, I don't get it. So
Yeah.
on this topic, favorite song about weed, just to celebrate.
I got 2. Number 1 is Scarface,
You got 2.
Mary Jane, because I just do,
Okay.
and I'm not even a big smoker either. I smoke maybe once or twice a year. And that's when we're like at a festival for work,
Right.
and we're like watching.
That's when we're watching.
No, like
Kanye
literally,
West.
like last year, like the only time I smoked was it last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The only time I smoked that whole year was when we saw Kanye at Bonnaroo.
Right.
And after that, never smoked again, like until I still haven't smoked since then, I think. But we digress.
we
Scarface,
digress.
Mary Jane, and Kid Cudi has a song called Marijuana that's fucking dope as shit.
Word. Zach.
I'm not prepared for this question.
Wow. All right. Well, you should. Juan
Pass
gave you
for now.
one.
I'll
Yes,
give you
he
one.
did
Jimi
too.
Hendrix, Purple Haze.
I thought we were saying hip hop.
Oh, I don't know.
No, we just said favorite.
You know
weed
what? I just
song.
wanted an excuse to just say that.
Why you gotta marginalize us and make it
Oh.
hip hop?
I'm not going to front. I said that because I just want to say that.
Esteban.
My favorite
Passing to
weed
you.
song is Rick James, Mary Jane. Come on, man. Remember the Friday, the soundtrack on Friday?
Mm.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. Come on. Anytime Rick opens his mouth.
That,
it's
yo,
just
it's
gold
funny.
coming
This
out.
morning when I was like getting ready to come to work, Half Baked was on like on 2 channels.
I was just gonna ask
And
if
I
you guys
was-
are fans of Half
and I was
Baked.
just like, oh, Half Baked on 2 channels. That's weird because it happens sometimes. And then now that we're talking about it, I'm like, that's why it is. Because that's one of the best
Eureka.
weed movies. Like,
Oh,
you
big
know, like
time.
besides, like Cheech and Chong is like,
Of course.
you know, like legendary and shit.
Yeah.
But to me, the stoner movie, my favorite
Yeah.
stoner movie is fucking, is Half Baked.
I don't think a day goes by that I don't quote a half-baked
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
There's so many.
The on weed. That's that. I
Oh
love that
yeah,
one.
the Jon Stewart. Yeah.
Come on, man.
And there's a cameo like Willie Nelson's in that.
yeah,
like-
it's good, man.
You know, another sleeper pothead movie is Grandma's Boy. Have you seen
Never
Grandma's
seen
Boy?
it.
You seen
No.
Grandma's Boy?
I heard it was good though.
It's fucking. It's like a weed pothead / video game movie.
Mm.
and it's by like it's
Okay.
basically like the
Did you
dudes who
write
are,
this?
No, like the dudes who are in it are like Adam Sandler's boys. Like they made their own movie. Like
Oh,
he just
word.
produced it, but it's like stupid funny. But everyone, it's like a lot of weed in it, but a lot of video game references. But it's I love that movie. You should check it out. I think you dig it. Both of you guys. I think you guys would both dig
My
it.
favorite weed thing going on is definitely Broad City. I love how they just are always smoking weed and how casual they are about it, but how
Word.
integral it is, their personalities. It's
You like that show?
Yeah, I love that show. I kind of let it back up and like catch up on a bunch of episodes at a time, but
Do you watch it, Esteban?
No.
I
There's no black people.
there were so many people.
there are Hannibal Buress is on it.
He doesn't
Yeah.
count.
There were
Why?
so many people
I don't
telling.
believe he's black.
What are you talking about?
You know any black dudes named Hannibal? Not me. They're
What are
all
you
they're all
I
Hispanic.
know a lot of Hispanic. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. He's
so
not black.
you haven't seen Hannibal Buress?
You've seen Hannibal Buress.
I've seen him, but that doesn't mean he's black. Why? Because he has brown skin? What the heck does that mean?
No, he's black.
You got a weird
His name
conspiracy
is
theory.
Hannibal. There is no black people named Hannibal.
Well, you gotta make your. Is that his given name?
You're
or is that
digging
his
your
stage
grave
name?
here.
Who knows?
What's his name? Anybody can be named anything.
Listen,
Anyway, to go back to the point I was trying to make,
it's my rule.
a lot of people were telling me to check out
Rule number one.
Broad City,
Uh-huh.
and I finally did, and I started liking it, and then I got tired of one of them, and I was like, I can't watch this chick anymore.
Hmm.
And it's the one that overacts in everything she does. Who is it?
Alana?
Yes.
Who is it?
Yeah,
Alana?
if you're not in on
If
Alana,
you're not in the
you're,
mood to-
you're
Yeah,
not
I
in on
just
that show.
the first I watched the first episode. I'm like, all right, this is now I see why people want me to watch it. It's funny. It's clever. Second, like maybe third episode, and I was like, I can't watch this chick act anymore because everything is like so overdone on her
Word.
part. It just and that's just me. I'm just weird like that. But actually, just totally, I checked out.
Well, you know who I can watch act all the time? Cameron. You see
What
I
a
did there?
segue! Yeah,
Alpha.
tell us about Cameron. We're
Cameron
getting
Purple Haze, man. Come on, it's 420. Purple Haze, one of the biggest Cameron albums out. People, for some reason, feel like Purple Haze was his best album. I completely disagree. I don't even think it's top 3 Cameron albums.
I
But
thought
it was the
good,
one
though.
that put him on the map. No, it was good, but come on, Sex, Drugs, and Entertainment was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Confessions of Fire was amazing to me. So Purple Haze is a good album, but to me it's not the best Cam album. But, you know, in the spirit of 420, Cam is doing a big show tonight. He's dropping a Ventilator Reebok that's purple and sick and stupid dope pair of kicks.
Yeah, and it comes with rolling papers. It comes with like little munchie type food
Yeah.
medallions, like a little pizza medallion, like
Yeah.
other shit that's just very
in the
weed.
shoe,
And it
inside the
comes
shoe.
Yeah,
with
like in a
the
box.
Stance socks, the
Yeah.
Cameron pink
Oh, yeah.
socks.
Yeah, it's a good little package.
Do you
man.
get him with a ticket to the show?
No, I think they just sell
It comes
them,
with
like-
an album, though.
Yeah, it does come. It comes with Purple Haze.
It comes with Purple Haze, the album, too. So
Yeah,
That's good.
It's a good. It's definitely a good collab.
for all you Cameron fans, you sneaker lovers, you 420 lovers, you got to check out these Purple Haze.
See, now I want to listen to that album
Yo,
because Down and Out is one of my fucking favorite songs, man.
that's one of the best Kanye-produced records.
yeah.
And
That's good shit.
Make your dreams come true, man.
Down and out, man.
I'm gonna listen to that shit. Probably after we get out of here.
Look,
I'll
he
go back
gets
to my desk.
computers putin'. That's all I'm saying.
I'm talking holy.
One thing I wanted to ask you guys: do you have friends who treat 420 like the most sacred of holidays?
Absolutely.
Not anymore.
Cut them out.
They're not your friends anymore.
Not cut them out. I just don't.
Yeah, you grew
I feel
up,
like
yeah.
I feel like maybe my brother-in-law back in the day was really like
Word.
a big pothead, and it was like a big deal. But I mean, he grew up and had kids, and now he works. So like, and he doesn't live in New York anymore, so I don't think he does.
Word.
But that's the only person I could really think of because me and my circle of friends that I still hang out with to this day, we all never really been that into weed. So not me.
I
Yeah,
definitely have homies who this is a lifestyle.
Yeah, they're
Marijuana
taking-
is a lifestyle for them.
and I know a lot of people like that, but for people to be like, I'm taking the day off,
Oh,
or
yeah.
like I'm counting down the minutes
They
till I
take the
can
day off, for
obliterate
sure.
myself for as many hours as possible.
Absolutely.
Obliverate. I like that.
Yeah, man. They'll do the marijuana infused butter on their toast in the morning for breakfast.
Straight
Like,
away, yeah.
Damn.
oh yeah. No, they don't play. It's a lifestyle, man. Cannabis
Yeah,
is a lifestyle for people, man.
Cannabis.
I appreciate that about it though too.
Cannabis.
Where you going with this?
You just unlocked the whole. Sometimes you just like forget about something and don't think about it, and then I was like, fuck cannabis.
Yeah,
I used to
man.
love cannabis back in the day.
He's talking about the rapper for you guys who may not know.
Well, we know it's 421 as you listen to this, so thanks for indulging us.
But if you are, but if you are, a weed smoker, you're probably still smoking, even though it's 421
to you.
Shit, 420 is probably every day. Could be
Every
4 o'clock in
day.
the afternoon.
Enjoy it. Don't get waka flocked.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on to the movie section. Juan, tell us about Spider-Man news.
So the latest through the grapevine, they're saying that Michael Keaton is in the running and the favorite to get casted as the villain in the next Spider-Man movie. That Marvel's finally going to get a chance to do, because
So done right.
Yeah, because I guess Sony's probably like, all right, we've. How about we produce it?
Sony, yeah, right. Sony's still part of it, but he's gonna be. Yeah, this is real.
It's like they're gonna
universe.
still produce, but Marvel's gonna take the reins on it, which is about fucking time because they have done no wrong. Yet.
Yeah, they've done plenty of wrong. I
Thank
think.
you.
I mean, the recent run, like dating back to
they're
like, what's the last bad shit they did?
I can't. I'm too skewed on this. I can't weigh in. I already told you guys.
Like I can't.
I mean,
like I didn't like Iron Man 3. That's like the one I probably think about the most.
Iron Man 3 wasn't the best. It was okay. I hated Thor.
I didn't mind.
I hated Green Lantern.
That's DC, you
and long ago.
jerk.
But I still blame Marvel for that because they should have did something about it.
Oh my god.
Well,
you should excuse yourself from the room right now.
So this is,
No.
this news isn't brand new, but it's worth talking about because Michael Keaton obviously was Batman for 2 movies. He's the first movie Batman, and he just a couple years ago did Birdman, which won the Oscar, where he's playing an actor who wants to be taken seriously, who became famous by playing a superhero, and it's a awesome movie,
the character rumored to be the main villain is Vulture.
Oh wow! So
he might be playing Birdman 2 times.
This is
third
the third
time with
bird.
yeah,
He plays a lot
third
of birds.
winged. Yeah,
But it's perfect because I mean, obviously Michael Keaton's career resurgence has been on the up, and he's doing an incredible job. And he's a great character actor. Like
he's been very choosy too. He hasn't done a lot of movies, and
Can I be honest with you guys?
that bodes well for Spider-Man.
What?
Go ahead. You don't like him?
I'm this full disclaimer.
It's all right. Safe space, except for that Hannibal burst.
Disclaimer. I am not racist. I am just very racially
anytime that's the precursor to a comment.
conscious. I thought
I'm not.
for some reason Michael Keaton, as we're referring to him right now in this conversation, was somehow Michael J. Fox.
Whoa. The only reason I might let that slide is because both their names are Michael. But anything else,
That's it.
you do not get leeway because they do not look alike.
No.
They have not
But
made
even white
similar
people
movies.
names are the same to me, I guess. That's what
Those are the same name, definitely.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, I
Michael
don't think
Keaton.
that needs.
I'm
to-
like, how is Michael J. Fox going to be a villain? And then as you guys started, I'm like, Michael Keaton, you moron.
Yeah, I think.
I'm glad you called yourself that.
I'm an idiot.
I think
Completely
think
idiot.
racism is
I don't think it's racism
operating
to do it.
on much higher tiers than mixing up some Michaels, bro.
Terrible.
Look, I love white
You're
people,
good,
Zach.
you're
You're one of
good.
my favorite people.
Oh
on this planet.
jeez.
I mean, going back to what we were
Should reevaluate.
subject at hand. Lord.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's 420. Look, this is our 420 episode. We're going to be random. We're going to be.
Uh-oh. Esteban's about to eat a Thin Mint.
I've been eating Thin Mints this whole.
Come on, man. Have some respect.
Thin Mints are
They
gross.
haven't heard.
You're
it.
eating on the pod.
It's better than eating on the can.
Ew. Where are we going right now? With this?
Where are we?
back to
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
so there's another little movie thing we got to touch on, which is that Birdman is now talking up, and this is a Birdman.
Another
of
Birdman. Good
Cash
segue.
Money.
Good segue.
Yeah,
That's a good
Birdman's
segue.
on Birdman. So he's talking about a Cash Money biopic. They liked what happened with Straight Outta Compton, and they want to do it for themselves.
Now, do you think it was him watching Straight Outta Compton and he just said, "Man, we could do that"?
I think it's him and every other kind of hip hop mogul looking at the box.
Yeah,
office.
because there was conversation about what's his name? Master P was gearing up to cast. He was starting to cast his biopic as well. There was some other. Obviously, the Tupac one is in production right now. So everyone who has a compelling story There was a Wu-Tang one. There was rumblings of
Yep.
everyone who has a compelling
I
story.
feel like
in
the
hip-hop,
Wu-Tang one would be
obviously.
way too convoluted.
Oh,
There's just
way
way like
too convoluted.
you just can't make a whole movie about 9 people. It's just not possible.
That-
and then if you concentrate on the main ones, then the other ones are gonna get upset, and that's just a clusterfuck waiting to happen. And I love Wu-Tang, but I'm just being real.
Well, NWA Straight Outta Compton was kind of like that. They had all these members.
I
but
mean,
they
yeah,
only
but-
focused on a couple.
I mean, that's a good point, but you're talking about 4 members, dude. I'm talking about 9.
So here's what Slim, who's Baby's brother, co-owner of Cash Money, here's what he had to say. He said, He said, "This is gold," like the concept. He said, "There's a lot of things people don't know we went through, things that happened before, behind the scenes of the company that happened before we were with Universal. So we got a lot of stories, but the way I'm putting it together is going to be great."
Who's putting it together? Slim?
Slim.
It sounds like they've got.
I mean, maybe he's coming up with the story and then they're gonna hand it off to a screenwriter. I hope.
Here's my only beef with Straight Outta Compton. I didn't really have much, but I have one, and that was it wasn't the real gritty dark story.
right.
It was like
If this
the
Cash
Hollywood
Money
story.
thing is going to be fluffy, if we're not going to see all of the heroin addictions of certain artists, we're not going to see the back and forths about money and the decline and people leaving and suing and all of that.
The New Orleans
If
life.
Baby and Wayne don't kiss each other at least once in this movie, then I don't really want to see it. I mean, I get the history. I mean, it's one of my favorite franchises ever. But if it's not going to be done dirty, gritty for real, then
Do you feel like the Cash Money story is more of an insider thing, where we work in media and we're hip hop fans since we're younger, we're inner city
Right.
kids. I'm saying me and Esteban because obviously Zach is not inner city, but he is a hip
White
hop
kid.
head.
from
But
Maine.
do you feel like that kind of story arc and that history is more of an insider thing than to the casual hip hop fan?
Yeah, like you're talking about, you want to see money stuff. I don't think that's gonna make a good
Like
movie,
NWA is
unfortunately.
NWA, no matter where you're from. You know NWA, you've heard of NWA. You just, it's just you can't really escape it, even if you're not an avid, deep hip hop fan. Cash Money, their glory days are kind of behind them now.
Right.
And I feel like maybe that's more of an insight. Like me, we'd love to see it because it's
Oh,
us.
yeah, I'm
They're
gonna
not
see
as
it, for sure.
historic.
But yeah, that's
and
what I'm
wide.
saying. Like,
The one thing that I would like to, and we should move on, but I think the one thing I would like about it is, any of these crew movies are probably going to be New York or LA movies, and it'd just be cool to see, a New Orleans set fucking hip hop
I agree.
That'd be cool.
situation. Yeah.
I mean, and their come up is epic. Let's not, they're epic.
moving on.
All right. This weekend,
Hit it.
Game of Thrones, season 6.
So hype.
Damn, we're up to 6 already, huh?
Season
So
6.
hype.
Yeah.
I miss Khaleesi so much.
She's about to be Khaleesi too, because she's going back with the Dothraki.
Listen, man. I love me.
Oh,
some
that's
that
right. She
woman.
got that's what she went into at the end of the last one.
Yep. So this is obviously a major. Oh, sorry, buddy. This is obviously a major season because they've run out of roadmap with the books.
Right.
In most situations, like that last scene you saw with Daenerys getting the Dothraki coming up. That was the last scene you saw of her in the 5th book, which came out 5 years ago. I
And he's
think,
still
or 4
working on the
years
next
ago.
one, right?
Yeah, so they're officially past him in most sense. Even at the end of last season, they were coming up with some new stuff. So
Right.
I just can't wait to see how quickly they can move things if they want, or what they're gonna do. I mean,
There's a lot of the one thing about Game of Thrones that I always it's glaring is there's so many story arcs and subplots. There's so many characters.
Right.
There's the Daenerys stuff, fucking Jon Snow. Is he dead? Is he
He's
alive?
not dead.
If he's
Or
not,
is he is dead. My theory is he's dead and he's a White Walker now.
Right.
That's my theory.
yeah, that's a lot of people's theories.
well, and
thought
they
I was
showed
special.
they showed this on
No.
the show a while back. But these red priests, which is what Melisandre is,
Right.
can resurrect people and
love
give them kind of a
Melisandre.
weird
Yo, she's another
life.
one. But you can't.
I
hit
hate the
that.
character.
Right.
I hate the character. She
Right.
pisses me off. The character, and
Right.
which means she's doing her job.
Right.
But she is gorgeous, man. That woman.
You can't hit that though because
No.
it's black magic.
Yeah, I don't like what comes out of that place.
So
It
Sorry.
scares me.
But another thing that I read was that Game of Thrones might be over sooner than we think.
Yeah,
we're
they're
so
trying
invested
to-
in it. It's been 6 seasons.
So these guys, Benioff and Weiss, who make it, they've said they might only have 13 episodes left after this. So
Oh, shit.
These are 10,
After this
these are
season.
10-episode seasons, and they said they've been talking about up to season 8, which would be 2 more, and that they might be short seasons, which
Okay.
I hate when they do that.
I
you know?
hate that too.
I hate when they did it with
Yeah.
Breaking Bad. I hate when they did it with Mad Men.
short seasons? Yeah.
2 or like a 2-part final season.
But I do like that they're acknowledging, like, we don't want to do this shit forever. Because
Yeah.
you don't want it to get stale.
And it's so
You know, for some
good.
people, it has gotten stale.
Yeah.
Especially for the people who read the books and then watch it just to, like, break it apart just
I don't
because
know why
it's
you
not.
would do that. but
I
sure.
mean, it happens. Like, if you started reading it, you're not going to stop because the show's out. Same thing with Walking Dead. Like,
I'm just kidding.
oh, no, I'm just saying. But, yeah, I mean.
I've read the books.
Yeah?
So, yeah, I like them both a lot. I'm not, one or the other. They complement each other really well.
Word.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character?
Ooh.
Or was, because they kill off people in that shit. Like, it's
I
no
mean,
business.
probably Tyrion. He's been really held down for a long time. Like the last time he was really up was that Blackwater, the Battle of Blackwater, which was like season 2. So since then, he's just been like on the run and like oppressed.
Right.
He obviously killed his dad there quickly. That was good.
Right.
But
On the toilet, dog. Like,
spoilers,
On
by
the
the way.
throne. On
oh,
the
come
throne.
on, dude. That was like season.
Yeah.
On the throne.
Spoilers, guys.
Right.
I love
But,
Tyrion.
yeah, I love Tyrion, and now he's in control in Marine while Daenerys is gone with Varys, and those were the two who were together running King's Landing. So
Right.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably my favorite.
I love
like
Tyrion. Jon Snow just
Yeah.
after a while, like I've never really, he wasn't my favorite for like or like whatever, but after the last couple of seasons of him like taking the reins in the North and just becoming this badass, like I think he's my favorite, which is why I was so shocked when they fucking. But then it's like you've watched enough TV when you're just like, but then it's Game of Thrones, so like it makes sense that they kill somebody off. So,
Yeah.
but he's definitely one of my favorites, and Daenerys.
Well, the thing is, people have spent so long trying to figure out who Jon Snow's parents are.
Yeah, that's
or who his
oh my
mom
god,
is, rather.
Right.
The theories on that are
And
just.
there's a theory that he is a Targaryen and that he is Daenerys' like half brother, and it's been laid out very clearly why it just wouldn't make sense at all to actually have him killed. Like you can't do it just for shock. It
Yeah.
really undoes so much building that was done.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I was bored with that question like a long time
Yeah.
ago. So we'll see what happens. But I like Brienne a lot too. She was kind of on
Yeah.
the sidelines a lot last season, so I'm
Yeah.
excited to see her come back.
She's a bad.
We're gonna see Bran.
Bran, yeah, I was gonna tell you
Dude, like
guys.
we haven't seen him, and we didn't see him the entire last season.
Yeah.
And now you look at him, and he looks 30. Like what the fuck?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you though, there are 2 chapters in the book of what happens with Bran after he gets to that tree man, the three-eyed raven, and it's like it expands the entire universe of
Wow.
everything by like majorly. It's one of those moments where suddenly a shadow is coming out of a woman and killing somebody, and you're like, oh, what? This can happen?
Right.
Yeah, the stuff that he's learning up with that tree and the implications of it all are
Is he still with Hodor? Yeah, right.
Hodor is up there, yeah. I think so.
Gotta get. I mean, that means we're getting Hodor back.
Yep.
Hodor, good. I miss Hodor.
All right, let's talk about Kimmy Schmidt for a minute. I think we all watched a little
Unbreakable.
bit this weekend.
Yeah.
The best theme song on TV.
Oh no, 100%.
Clearly.
That is the catchiest fucking song like in the. I've been watching it sporadically, like every night before I go to bed. I still feel season 1, to me so far, it was better.
That seems to be the consensus.
Yeah, right. But not to say like it's still, to me, it's still Titus' show. Like he's
Right.
He's not the main character. He's one
Right.
of, but like to me,
Titus's show?
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
to me, it just feels like
Okay.
it's like he's the one.
Yeah.
Like he fucking kills that. I mean, the role is fucking him, but he's just fucking awesome. I
Yo,
love-
the
I love
hipster
his character.
episode.
The hipster episode was great.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's my favorite.
That's the last one
episode.
that I just watched, yeah.
I will watch that again before I move on to another one. It's that funny, man.
Are any of you in or ever been in Arcade Fire? Yes.
A lot of Lydia this season, right?
Yeah, Lillian's great.
Lillian, yeah.
yeah.
I love what she was talking about Biggie and just stare at the wall and being like,
Yes.
so great. so fat.
Yeah. My favorite dude, and Tina Fey, I love her for this. Like, she nails that, like, spontaneous random when they're standing on the corner of Malcolm X Boulevard having that conversation about
Malcolm
the street
Malcolm
is named
the
after
10th.
a rapper.
Yeah.
Right. No, Malcolm the 10th was I'm
The
like,
Black
yo,
Pope.
what the heck
Yeah,
is
man.
wrong with you people? But it's so funny, man.
But I like that they squeeze in like social commentaries here and there, like the whole thing about giving the kid the Ritalin, the medicine to make him the discipline, like you wouldn't think the show would have that much of like a deep tone to like a subject that's real. But they made it super funny. But it's like legit. People fucking do that
Yeah.
shit.
It's a
People
playground
can't-
full of sedated
Yeah.
kids who
Yes.
And even like, and after a while, like it scares the shit out of her because she's like, "What the fuck? Like, what the hell? You're like a
Right.
robot." And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, they're actually hitting like a serious topic on, which I never thought would
and
ever
they nail
happen.
it with the island nanny.
Yeah,
That's so New York. There's so many island nannies. But like also like like the fact that don't worry, you won't have to actually parent your child.
Right.
yeah.
Like just have him take this pill and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Stuff like that, man.
I love the New York City-ness of it. Netflix, all their shows that are in New York. Master of None is another one.
Yeah.
I like seeing New York
nah,
today on the
totally.
screen.
No, I love
Oh,
and
no,
Kimmy-
dude.
Yeah.
And Kimmy Schmidt's version is very funny.
If you watch Daredevil, like I
Right,
said
right,
before,
Daredevil
the
too,
fucking
yeah.
set pieces and just the scope of some of the scenes in Daredevil are
Right.
fucking gorgeous,
Yeah.
dude.
Word.
Like, they kill it every time.
I love the portrayal of the super rich on the show too. That
yeah.
Yes.
it gets me.
Dude, her
Oh my
her
goodness.
backstory of being Native American, like that shit to
It
me,
makes me oh my goodness.
it's like, should I be like, if I was Native American, would I be offended? But it's so fucking funny.
right.
But that's the beauty of it, I guess, right?
Yo, it's
There's
hilarious.
just so many jokes on this show that I think maybe half of them I find funny, but there's just
Yeah.
so many
Right.
that
Yeah.
it's
Right.
it's
And some of
worth
them go
it,
through
you
your
know?
head a lot. Like if you watch it again, you kind of. But I feel like a lot of times it's like, ha, I get it. Or
Yeah.
like,
Right.
haha.
Yeah.
And
But
then
it's
some that-
entertaining.
many
You're never
references, yeah.
they don't fall flat.
Yeah. I mean, some of them do.
Yeah.
I
Some-
like too that it's like it's not just references to everything. It's which also 30 Rock was this. It's a lot of TV references. Like the people
Word.
really love TV.
Right.
Like I had written down here in one episode, like back to back, there was a Friends joke, a Frasier joke, a
Oh,
Living
the
Single
Friends
joke,
joke.
and an
Frasier
HBO
joke is
joke,
so
and
No.
a Mad Men joke. Yeah.
Dude,
So-
the Kardashian shit of how he lived.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
my. Dude,
Oh,
that
my goodness.
with
Thanks,
Dawn is his
Chloe.
name? Yeah.
Is the best.
Yeah, yo,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shit was fucking great.
Yeah.
The Friends one was like, oh, he said it like Chandler would say it, right?
He says
Yes.
the internet doesn't sound like that. The internet sounds like Chandler, and then she reads this thing that she thought was positive.
Yeah.
She reads it like Chandler and realizes that they're being assholes. The
Yeah.
comments.
So-
Oh,
it's
my
so good.
goodness. It's
So yeah,
good.
check it out, Kimmy
Yeah.
Schmidt.
I haven't finished it. I'll finish it soon.
I don't know if it's as good as the first season, but
Yeah.
it's great. Obviously, Ellie Kemper's like lovable idiot of Kimmy Schmidt is just so good. And did you guys watch The Office? I love The Office.
No, I didn't catch the office.
I love The Office, and
missed the
she was
boat on
on
The
that
Office.
show for like the back half of it,
Ellie?
playing a very similar character. So I got a lot of like goodwill toward her going into it, and just good kind of
Nice.
Office vibes remaining. So
I didn't see her till Bridesmaid. That's the first time I ever saw
oh okay.
Ellie. So, but yeah, she's awesome. I think everybody on that cast is super good.
All right, so a little more TV in the
Talk about
form of
racism.
an interview.
Talk
Talk about what?
Speaking of racism,
Racism.
Yo, our segues are on point. Is it just
And
me?
punto. Okay. So it was an intimidating experience, but it was very rewarding in the end to talk to W. Kamau Bell. So I want to give you guys like a real full intro to this guy because we just really jumped into what he's up to now, which is a CNN series. It's called United Shades of America, and the premise is
Great name.
a black man going places a black man might not feel welcome, might feel afraid, might not ordinarily go to
in America,
in America.
which is crazy in and of itself.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, but didn't you hear America's not racist?
Right. Right.
Neither is
some would
Esteban.
allow us
Yeah.
to believe. Neither am I. America.
So he has said it's like Anthony Bourdain's series, but with racism instead of food. So I want to give you guys a little info on him before we talk, because, like I said, we didn't spend a lot of time saying, what do you do? So he lives in Berkeley, California, with his wife and his two daughters. He calls himself a socio-political comedian and dad. He had a show on FX, and it went to FXX called Totally Biased with W. Kamau Bell. It was kind of this daily showish series. It got into all these progressive intersectional areas. Its writer's room was this great bullpen of gay writers, people of color. And
That was exec produced by
Chris Rock,
right,
who was the
right.
first guest on the show and came on more times. And his other guests were people like Melissa Harris Perry, Trevor Noah before The Daily Show, Big Frida, Laverne Cox.
Damn.
Yeah, Henry Louis Gates, Hannibal Buress. So, and he's involved with stuff beyond comedy and beyond TV. He's the ACLU's ambassador of racial justice. He works with an anti-street harassment group called Hollaback. So this guy is on point. I admire a few people as much as I admire him in terms of
He
entertainers.
has balls too, man. Because from the clips I've seen of what he's doing, like, I don't, it's like the most uncomfortable experience I ever had was going to Walmart for the first time in my life.
Going to Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate going to Walmart.
Like, for the first time in my entire life, I was just like,
Where?
Yo, I legit feel like I don't belong here.
Where?
And like deep, like when I started dating my wife in deep Long
In
Island,
Long
the
Island.
first time I went to Walmart and I started looking around when it was glaring, I was like, dude, like I really feel like I stick out like a sore thumb. And then watching that clip of him on that show, I'm just like, dude, he has balls because I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you guys about a couple of these episodes because these scenarios are just unreal. So it's called United Shades of America. Like I said, it's premiering this Sunday on CNN at 10 p.m. He starts by sitting down with the KKK in several different situations. So he ends up at a cross burning, and he's very emphatic about, I'm probably one of the only black people to see this and walk out alive, and to actually be safe during it.
Right.
He talks to people who want to talk through like a voice muffling device. He talks to people who will talk to him with no hood and sit in a diner and talk to him. And other episodes, he's getting into gentrification in Portland, Latino community in East LA. He goes to see an Inuit community in Alaska, to a place you can only get to by plane.
Wow.
He goes to spring break at Daytona Beach. So he does one about community policing in Camden, New Jersey, which is like one of the most dangerous cities in America.
Yes.
I've driven through that city.
Right.
Yeah,
And then the finale, he goes to San Quentin State Prison in California, and he spends a week there. And he talks
Like inside?
Yeah, and he talks. I mean, he's not getting locked up.
Sure,
and stuff.
sure.
He goes home at night, but yeah, he spent a week and he talked to so many people. They were all so forthright. It's a very like sad, Orange is the New Black in real life, like a real wake up call of like these are humans. So here's my conversation with W. Kamau Bell. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Okay, hey Zach.
Hey Kamau, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Cool. So I watched the San Quentin episode and the KKK episode, and I was like knocked on my ass. You did an amazing thing here.
Well, thank you. Those are two very sort of opposite ends of the spectrum episodes. I'm really taken. I appreciate the fact that you like them so much. I sort of don't know what's going to happen out there. I know they sort of are. They're both sort of pot-stirring things, and I did the best I could, and I hope I didn't make it worse for anybody who doesn't need to be made worse for. I hope I didn't look like I made anybody look awesome who doesn't need to look awesome.
Oh, are there people other than the KKK members that you're worried about in that score?
I mean, I think in general, I'd be more worried about, if as walk around as a black man in America, I have more worry about the police than the KKK.
Yeah. How did you guys work to get the tone? Because it's, you've got stand-up, you've got your narration, which is something that I've never heard from you, those conversations. Like, how did you arrive at how it was going to actually feel and come together?
I mean, I think we started with there's sort of a template that has been laid out. I mean, it's sort of probably most famously at this point by Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain. But there's also just, a lot of the CNN shows are using a version of that template. And I think then we just tried to, what is my version of the template? What would I do differently? And I think it was actually the production company and one of the other executive producers who was like, you should do stand-up in these things. And I was like, what? Like, I had never envisioned that. So we sort of worked together to figure out how to do that. And so I think it was just a way to further distinguish this. It'd be very easy I think it'd be somewhat easy to blend into just being another travel show. And although our subject matter is probably different, and our approach is different. We were just trying to see what can we do to make this to really separate this from the other ones, and not necessarily be better than, but just be my version of it.
Yeah. How what's the difference of your comfort level from stand up to doing, as you said, tourism but with racism instead of food?
I mean, I mean, certainly as a stand-up, I've spent most of my years of show business, if not all, I guess all really working on stand-up comedy. So that's always going to be the backbone of whatever I do. And even when I'm sitting there in those interviews, I'm still sitting there as a stand-up comedian who's sort of working my way through this.
Yeah.
But also as a black man, as a dad, there's all those different parts of me that come through. And so, I mean, I think that I'm still, as far as the documentary series side, I'm still working through that, but I really like it and would hope that we can do more. I mean, I really feel like, I look at these first 8 episodes of the show as being like this really like, this was an 8-episode experiment. And I think that if we went back to season 2, I really feel like I could hit the ground running. Because if you think about it, like the first thing we ever shot was the cross burning.
Yeah.
So, and that was the first thing we shot that day. That was the first time I met the crew. Like, so it was like, everybody's never said their first day of work, but usually your first day of work doesn't also end up at a cross burning. So, there was a lot of extra tension going on that day. That I think that if we got to go to season 2, I know all the camera guys. We're all friends. By the end, we were all hugging and crying. For no real reason, just because we were the sensitive men. And so I think that like if I was able to do season 2, we would just really hit the ground running.
Cool. How do you feel about just being on CNN in general? It's such a big platform, and I'm thinking back to at Totally Biased time, you had said you were looking for, rather than the biggest audience possible, the most intense audience possible. Do you still feel that, or how do you feel about what your audience might be, or what you hope it will be, or just the feeling of being on CNN?
I mean, I think the thing that you said about CNN is there's such a huge platform. I mean, I travel a lot, and it's on in like 80% of the airports I'm in. There's the TV on with CNN.
Yes.
So you feel like everybody's going to get a chance to decide whether or not they like this thing, which probably at one point would have sounded scary to me, but after going through sort of like, and I really like without FX and FXX, we wouldn't be on this phone right now. But after going through sort of the thing with FXX and having so many of my fans go, I can't find this channel, I don't know where it is. I'm really appreciative of the fact that like I'm on one of the biggest megaphones on television. Yeah. As far as cable goes.
Have you
So I just really appreciate the fact that I have a lot of fans of mine who are like, oh, I haven't watched CNN in a long time, and so they're excited. They're sort of like, which is great for CNN to pull people in who maybe aren't watching their network, and then I have a lot of people who are discovering me like I was just born yesterday, which is also great. So I think that I don't know what that audience ultimately is going to look like. I think when I go out on tour again as a stand-up, I really get to see it up close. That's how I really get to find out who's actually paying attention. But I certainly appreciate the fact that it's such a big megaphone to get the thing out, And it's funny. The thing with Totally Biased that it was ultimately such a small thing that I run into people all the time who kind of think I'm still doing it. Like it hasn't. It's like it's been like maybe we're between seasons or something. I just kind of saw it on YouTube occasionally when clips would come up.
Yeah. Never say never. Sometimes there's a long gap between seasons.
In the 21st century, everything can come back. So there's probably a reality at like 85 years old. I'm like, it's back. If Arsenio can come back, Totally Biased can come back.
Yes. Have you pre-ordered edible arrangements for the interns who are going to have to field the deluge of emails about this show from?
That's funny that you said edible arrangements, because that is my go-to thank you product. That's funny that you said that. I was like, how did you know? I'm sort of asked about that. I have been talking to some of the people at CNN because I think they've already started to receive emails. I think because of the 21st century, a lot of those emails come to me. So I put my email address out there, and also because of social media, I think a lot of people, they don't waste time with CNN. They just come straight to the source.
Yeah, I think you're about to go to the top of the suspect corkboard for people who have the term white genocide in their life.
Yeah, I'm about to be a recruiting tool, I think, But although it's funny, one of the funny and then ironic and maybe sad way, but also in a weird, quirky way, one of the guys, the guy who's in the blue outfit in the first episode, the blue robes, he emailed me the other day, like excited and talking about all of his career opportunities that have come out of just people knowing he's in the show.
Yeah, I had heard
all the like documentary opportunities and all sorts of stuff. Like he's excited for it to come out.
Yeah,
and he said, I hope you didn't make me look bad, is what he said.
Yeah, and I heard you mention that on NPR, and that was an amazing conversation, by the way. And then I watched the episode last night, and the first thing is stand-up, where I feel like they are going to lose their shit. Like, they've seen this trailer, and they're excited, and then they're going to hear your take in the stand-up at the very beginning and be like, oh my God, this was the worst choice I ever made.
I mean, but it's like I sort of feel like, well, what would they expect? Like,
right. Right. We won this guy over.
I don't know I don't know. I mean, people are like, "Are you worried?" I'm like, "What would they expect that I would say?" I mean, I'm sure that, and you have to remember on the other side of this, there's going to be black people, and I've already had this, who are mad that I did it at all, and that I gave them any time, and then I sat there and smiled and laughed and told jokes. So I'm between a rock and a black place.
Sorry. The last time that I remember seeing the KKK on TV and like speaking their mind was when I was very little, and it was like Jerry Springer, I think.
Yeah, I mean I think that's our last. I mean, other than Dave Chappelle's Hall of Fame comedy sketch, The Blind Black White Supremacist, that's the last time you sort of seen them interact with people was probably a talk show from the 90s or early aughts, and I just feel like, for me, I was like trying to make the reverse version of that. Some people said, why didn't you engage with them and argue back and forth? What would the point of that be?
Right.
That didn't work when Springer had people do it. Like, why would it? For me, it's like, again, this is how I do it. You may do it differently, and I encourage you to go. I don't really encourage anybody to go meet with the client, but I'm saying that, like, this is the way I do it, and some people will dig it, some people won't, and some people won't even like the idea of it or the hint of it. And those are going to be people who are on my side and people who are not on my side. And I just sort of have to hope that there's a critical mass of people who are like, I like that, or that made me feel a lot of things, and I'm going to have conversations about that tomorrow when I go to work. I think that's kind of the goal of anything, is to get people talking.
I feel like progressive folks kind of often, I think we feel like we have a pretty good handle on everything, and we've kind of seen it all, heard it all. We know everything on the other side. But did you find yourself just hearing things that you had never heard and just like feeling the floor just like drop even further?
As far as over the whole season, or that episode specifically, or
just overall, in all your conversations.
I think every episode I was learning things I didn't know, or you can know things intellectually, like with the prison episode. Until you get there, it doesn't mean anything. So you think you can sort of intellectualize and have the cocktail party discussion, but then if you go, no, I was at a place and I saw it, and this is what somebody said to me. Like, for me, that was the San Quentin episode is probably my favorite episode of the season, because that's the one I think I walked out the most changed.
Yeah.
Because I think I went in with like certainly anti the prison industrial complex, but also not necessarily knowing how deeply anti I was against it. Like, once you go in there, you're like, oh, it's way worse than I thought. And these stats sound bad, but these are actually humans in here and people that I now like and want to help in some way,
Yeah, there was a lot of humanity in that episode.
Yeah, that's the. I don't know if it's our funniest episode, but I think it's probably our most human episode.
Yeah. Funny makes me think there's a lot of times where there's group laughter, no matter what group you're with.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? A lot of times when it's.
Yeah, one thing I think I definitely brought to the table as a comedian is that when I met with the producers who'd worked on a lot of sort of these reality fake shows before, was like, the thing that I would always encourage is like to leave in the laughter, I think there's sort of there's almost like once you get to the end of the scene, the end of the point of the scene, you sort of cut to the next scene. And I was like, no, you're missing the thing I said at the end that made people laugh, or you're missing the thing where the guy made fun of me and then I laughed,
Right.
Sort of like really encouraging to leave it, because that's the show. Like people laughing together who are reaching across the aisle with each other, that's the show to me, whether it's me laughing at them or them laughing with me, or them me laughing with them or them laughing at me. To me, that's the thing that makes it feel different. And so I'm glad you noticed that, because that was something I had to like work to sort of put back in, because it's like, it's real easy to just tell the story of all these things and leave out some of the more human comedy bits. And I was like, no, that's really what separates the show from the other shows is the amount of laughter and sort of connection that is happening.
Yeah, I started to notice it pretty quick on that first episode, the KKK, because whether it's from like you and that young guy on the side of the road kind of having an uncomfortable laugh, or like you with the all-white task force, and you guys are just, the way that those laughs come across in the room, it's just, there's a lot to think about. Like, wow, what is everybody feeling there? Like, how much relief is there?
Yeah.
How much fear? It's a lot. So...
Well, my hope is that, like I said, I kind of feel like I should encourage people to watch this show in groups of people, because I think that maybe watching it by yourself, there might be too much left on the bone for you to like figure out what do I do with this. Whereas if you're with a bunch of people, you can immediately have a conversation about like, I think he's wrong and we should get a petition together to get him off TV. Or I like that. Let's talk more about it.
I think it's just gonna be a lot of old dudes in their armchair now.
Hold on a second, Zach. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on it, yeah. Okay, thank you. Hey, Zach.
Hey.
That was my Lyft driver pitching me that we should work together, even though he had no idea who I was. Like he was like clearly just hearing the conversation, like, this guy sounds like something. And he went from being like the angriest Lyft driver in the history of all time to suddenly like, we should really work together. Oh, should we?
Oh my God. And now you're just still riding in the cab talking about him?
No, yeah, he was just dropping me off, and so now I've been dropped off. But it's just funny, like, I wouldn't say this about him if I hadn't just got out of the car.
Wow. Okay. What else do you have going on that's current that you want people to know about?
Like I said, there's also the United States April 24th on CNN, and April 29th. I have shoot. Hold on, I'm trying to get on another train. April 29th. I have a Showtime special coming out.
Cool, and you got to share the title. You got to share the title there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, semi-prominent Negro.
Did you come up with that?
It's in my act, but Morgan Spurlock, who directed it, who also works in CNN, he had the idea to name it that. So it takes a village.
Oh, that's cool. Morgan Spurlock, that's great.
Yeah.
And what about, like, I know you have, kind of non-showbiz things on your resume, and I was wondering what you're kind of currently active with for that kind of stuff. Like, I saw you have a role with the ACLU, and it's just kind of a litany of things on your bio.
I mean, it's a lot of that stuff is like I do things when they ask me to, and but I think mostly with that, I just feel like I have to keep a career going that they feel like can support the message that they want me to put out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Like if I so I feel like I'm always choosing projects to support what I believe in and sort of things that I think are important, and I think that a lot of that is them sort of feeling like that's something we want represented in the world. So. But I also do gigs and things for them when they want to. I also really try to keep it local and do benefits where I live for local organizations and charities. And I'm doing a thing for a housing charity in Chicago in May. It's called Housing Forward. That I'm just trying to like make sure that like it's not always about the money.
Yeah.
That it's about trying to make the
Yeah.
If it was about the money, I would be going to Kevin Hart University right now, which is an excellent university. But I'm going to some sort of like Big Gregory Community College.
Yeah, I think that was the first HBCU, right? The Kevin Hart.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so that was W. Kamau Bell, United Shades of America, CNN, 10 p.m. on Sunday. Check it out. And it's going to run for 8 weeks, hour-long episodes.
Can I just
Hope
say
it
I
comes
can't
back.
help but think, because this is what I do for a living,
Think.
I would love to know or see how the crew.
Oh man.
Do you think anyone on that crew was a minority when he went to talk to the Ku Klux Klan?
Should have asked that.
Because that
I was definitely curious.
that's a crazy, like, if it's like for like
Yeah.
me, Esteban and I do this for a living, like we shoot, we produce, whatever. And if we're gonna, if I was on his crew, I mean, yeah, like this is what we do, but you also have reservations. Like, dude, I'm going into the fucking belly of the beast right now.
Right.
And so I give besides him, because I give him all the props in the world. Like, I wonder if like the crew was just just to make things less complicated, because the host is black and maybe the whole crew was maybe white, or if they were just like, fuck that, if they're gonna talk to him, then we're just bringing a whole crew of fucking professional minorities. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that's
I'm guessing no, and not in a cynical way, but in just like he's very transparent. I think he might have mentioned it.
True
know.
that.
So, all right, what you guys gonna listen to this weekend?
I'm listening to ASAP Ferg.
I'm
Always
excited for that,
striving
too.
to prosper. I've been waiting for a minute for this, and now it is here.
I'm probably gonna listen to that. We're gonna be at PAX this weekend in Boston, so I'm probably gonna be, attending. We are gonna be attending a lot of parties,
Right, a lot of rap shows.
interviewing some fucking dope ass. I feel like I've been saying this shit every week, but we're gonna be interviewing some cool nerdcore rappers.
Word. That's a good point.
Walking the convention, playing some games that aren't gonna be out till later in the year.
Nice.
A lot of VR demos we signed up for to play some virtual reality. That looks like it's gonna be like the new fucking shit.
I'll be filming Juan throw up.
Basically.
Motion sickness.
So that's gonna be my weekend. So I don't know. I'm probably on the train ride over. I'm probably listening to some Ferg, maybe catch some Netflix, finish watching Kimmy Schmidt. But for today, I'm still rocking those marijuana songs, cat.
Nice.
And 420.
Esteban? You
Already
already
said,
you said
yeah,
Ferg. Yeah,
Fergie
I'm excited
Ferg.
for that too. All right, I'm gonna go way left field here.
As you always do.
Not always. Well, I'll say first in the hip hop realm, just to make this even weirder. I definitely feel like I gotta like step up the Future right now in the wake of Designer and Panda going to number 2.
You got to step up his
I feel like
views
I gotta
and listens.
I gotta support Future. But I'm gonna listen to Iron and Wine. He put out a album with someone named Jessica Hoop. I
love Jessica Hoop.
Do you know who that is?
Yes.
It's Jessica.
Oh, I didn't know it was Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? I never
City
heard of
Birds?
her. All right.
You know there's a record, City Birds?
No.
Holy cow, man.
You sure we're talking about the same person?
Amazing voice.
Yeah?
Amazing voice.
Well, it's probably her.
I don't know who the hell y'all
They put out
talking
an album called Love Letter for Fire. I really liked Iron and Wine kind of early on when he was like real soothing lullaby acoustic stuff. In the last few albums, he's gotten more ambitious, which is nice, but it's not really what it was in the beginning. And this is kind of like that again. It's very like, again, good falling asleep music, good just relaxing dinner. So
There's only one fun.
it's no Donkey Kong 2 soundtrack falling asleep
Yeah.
music, but
That's the funnest part. Yo, like this weekend, I'm gonna talk that kind of shit with people who are gonna be excited to talk about that to
Yeah.
me. So I'm gonna have so much fun.
oh, I've been listening to Samus too. I listened
Dude,
to her
she-
latest EP and then got into the other stuff this week. And
I can't wait to talk to her, man, because
Yeah.
she's. I hope she keeps blowing up, because
yeah,
I think more and more people deserve to fucking listen to her, because she's fucking awesome.
stellar,
Yeah, man.
cool.
Word.
Thanks
Cool.
everybody.
Panda.
That what? Oh, Panda. Yo, we got through a whole. You had the book ended with Panda. All right, respect. Listen, if you love the podcast, please rate, subscribe, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're feeling. We appreciate you guys constantly tuning in to hear us.
Yeah.
I have to apologize for the amount of randomness that was on this 420 episode, but in the spirit of 420,
Yep.
it's going to be all over the place. But
Word.
check us out next week. And until next time, enjoy your life.
Goodbye.